magnify and understand drafting a lot better, which could potentially flip the script of what Team Flash did to them in the upper bracket finals.
Gonna go into the first map of the day, ladies and gents, for the grand finals. It is going to be a dangerous grass map. This map is very dangerous, definitely for the side of Team Flash and also Team Evil, because it's all up to the roamers. It's gonna be a J versus Powerful kind of matchup, because you really have to really open up as much of these grass as possible, and it all lies on the responsibility of Jay and also Powerful. Knowing how Team Evil likes to play usually is that Powerful is very active around the map, scouting out most of the things. And like what you mentioned, Abstract, they've shown quite a few games earlier today, and I'm very sure Team Flash, especially Coach Adamir, has been taking notes.
As we move on to take a look at the first few bans, it does seem like we do have Team Flash that goes out for the Jusin, CC, and Yu Jong ban Evil with the Hayabusa, Baxia, and Farsa. Understandably, we have seen a couple of these heroes played and banned many times before.
The Ishinshin looks really juicy for the first pick team for the side of Team Flash. They'll snap pick it for the side of Hades, showing their hands right off the bat. Don't forget earlier just now, Team Evo, they let the Ishinshin pass, give it over to the side of the enemy, and they ultimately got punished. Hopefully this time around, this is going to be a slightly different Team Evo that probably practice against Ishinshin. They need to find a way to stop this Ishinshin right off the bat before they got snowballed out of control.
Now, understandably, when it comes down to R3, there might be a very high probability that Evil might want to focus and prioritize that Lancelot. Understandably, because of the Fredrin that they have played before, I'm not too sure if whether that was a... I would say if whether that was a matchup against Kingdom that just doesn't work and they want to try that with Team Flash or not. Because what I would like to see from Evil is play with their strongest hand right off the bat. Right. This will boost their morale, and it gives them the tempo that they need to go up against this tyrant that has been standing on the throne for so long.
Got a catch up, snap pick up by the side of Team Flash in the hands of Jay. Lapu Lapu as well, technically denied by the side over to Gear. There's something that Bear can also play to greatest extent. And, you know, we also talk about how Team Evil, yep, there you go. You definitely have to go for the Lancelot right here in R3. If not, Team Flash will start taking it away. Out of the 3 games that Team Evil fielded Lancelot over the side of Aether, he has won 3 times, 100% win rate for this particular hero in the hands of Aether. And definitely Team Evil, the one that definitely can play with momentum. They need to really put their best foot forward in game number 1.
When it comes down to Team Flash's draft, Lapu Lapu is the only thing that could show any form of flexibility, with Vanix having the opportunity and of course had the short and experience with playing Lapu Lapu. As such, it might not go to Bear just yet, and it does not mean that it will go to Vanix, but there is that possibility that we gotta have to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, usually when Team Flash picks a Yishin right off the bat, usually they will go for double side lane fighters. Technically speaking, this is the best of 7. This is not just a sprint anymore, Abstract. This is going to be a marathon. Maybe they're going to try using the fighter side lanes first in first game, then after that tweak, and also make sure that, you know, they change the game plan along the way, because don't forget, this is the best of 7. Team Evo, on the other hand, bans away the Eve, takes away the Valentina as well. Team Flash, on the other hand, this is a very interesting ban from the side of Adamir, taking away the Esmeralda, hinting at a potential Harif as well, but they're going to take it away instead.
All right, so that is a good buy to Harif. The thing is, Evil, they still gotta have to focus on their side lanes, and Evil, my oh my, it could go anywhere. As we talk about, it's very likely going to be fighters also possible, because we do have a Kimi that could come in as the insurance for marksmen in the later stages. However, Granger does seem like a pretty good pick here.
Yep, Granger definitely looks really good, juicy for the side of Team Evil. You can pair it up alongside with the Kimi. Those are your winning combos. You have burst damage. You've got also the burst coming out from the Lancelot. The Kimi can provide that DPS. Team Flash, on the other hand, they can always swing back into... Oh, that's definitely going to be Ruby. Should be a Ruby going to the gold lane in the hands of Ved. Team Evil is going to fight fire with fire. They're going to respond with their own gold lane fighter right off the bat.
Now Team Flash, they gotta have to show all of their hands now.
Yep.
And possibly face off against that R5 X factor. we will generally look at the Ruby and assume that that is going to be the gold lane Ruby. As such, Team Flash, they will settle with a Granger and a Lunox in mid.
A bit of an interesting pick, drafting pattern coming up from Coach Anime right there. Snap picking the Granger all the way at the last moment, and then after that locking the Lunox. Because technically speaking, if you look at Curtizi's hero pool, the Juicid already banned away, the Farsa, the Eve, the Valentina as well, Coach B Toy literally making it very hard for Curtizi to play. But Team Evil right now, locking in the final glue. Coming in for the side of Team Evil. We haven't seen glue in a long time, ever since the past rework.
As such, ladies and gentlemen, we have got the 5 heroes that have been picked up from Team Flash, and of course the other 5 from Evil. The very first game is just about to fall through into the land of Dawn. Whichever team that manages to snag themselves the very first game will understandably be able to get quite a bit of a tempo, and this will start a mental game.
Sorry, correction. This is the first glue we have seen so far for the side of MPL Singapore.
Wait, for real?
For real.
The first glue?
Yeah, the first glue.
The very first glue of MPL Singapore Season 10.
And it's shown up in the grand finals. This could be the secret weapon, the secret glue, the secret sauce for the side Team Evil to thwart what Team Flash have in mind.
As such, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for all of you at home, we hope that you're going to enjoy this entire series, as it will be one heck of a marathon. And everyone here at the center point, it's time to hear your voices as we go into game number 1 between Flash versus Evil.
Definitely need all the support right here, ladies and gents. It all boils down to this. Team Evil definitely looking for that first win to set the momentum right, to set the momentum straight. More importantly, for the side of Gear, he needs to perform on this glue because, like what I mentioned, this is the first time we've seen glue in MPL Singapore, and they have to make it work going up against Lapu Lapu.
Let's talk a little bit more about lane priority. The main thing is going to be the middle lane influence as to how Evil and Flash SG wants to play around with.
Well, take a look at the gold lane. We start from that one. Fenix going up against Van. Ruby, technically speaking, you're going to it's just going to be a neutral lane, right? Whatever Granger will be able to do against Ruby earlier in the game is always going to be absorbed and lifesteal all the way back. Now, I'm looking at the mid lane pick instead, right? For the side of Flash and Team Evil. Hold on a second. Jay, pretty hard invading, trying to put some dent over the side of Aether's farming.
A little bit of aggression from the side of Jay. It did definitely give some information over to Team Flash SG. And when it comes down to experience between the Romans, Jay definitely do have a bit of that higher ground. With him coming in at level 3 already, it's not that big of a deal until we talk about the level 4 power spike, especially for the Romans.
Yeah, a little bit awkward in my opinion for the side of Curtizi to go for the wall will reveal Hades right now. Try to go back there. We'll not be able to do anything for now, but items check. Mostly all boots except for Gear going for the Dreadnought armor right off the bat.
This is not exactly right, and something is different about the pathing of Hades. Something is different, as Hades is currently only at level 3, and it doesn't look too good as he's unable to do anything against Aether for this turtle fight.
Yeah, you're right. It seems like one of the minions got stolen right off the bat earlier just now. Not too sure what exactly happened right there. Then Evil, because of that, pick up the first turtle already. Wonderful start for Team Evil so far.
We definitely gotta have to look back a little bit to really identify what have went wrong. As one thing's for sure is that we actually, I think the Yushin Shin started off at the purple buff first.
Aether is actually did the quick counter jungle against the enemy right off the bat. Earlier just now when you see the split screen,
right?
That is actually on the blue side of the map. Aether first creep is actually Team Flash's orange buff. That's why.
Oh, we have missed that out quite a bit.
It's very quick because we go straight into the split screen. You won't be able to tell.
As such, this is going to be important information. That means that Team Flash, they didn't really quite manage to open the map up enough. And Jay, that's probably the reason why he actually had a little bit of a higher level as opposed to Evil, because he's kind of forced to go over to the opponent jungle. That's why he went over to the purple buff and be like, hey, look, there's people here, but what happened to ours?
Yeah, so technically speaking, this is how you slow down the farm for the side of Yushin Shin, right? We're already going to 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Team Flash is unable to really start any sort of fight, whereas Team Evil secured the first turtle already, and now it's all about whether they can keep out the tempo, right? This is a good start for them, but I want to see more.
But Team Flash, understandably, because of the EXP deficit, they wouldn't want to jump into any form of battle. As such, Evil, they are going to be the one that will pull the trigger. And if anything, they are the one that will step on the accelerator.
Yep, Team Flash definitely needs to buy a lot more time. It's all about Jay being able to provide the information. Maybe Bear will be able to step forward just a little bit to wave clear and also to output some form of damage. But Gear on the glue should be able to heal everything all the way back up. The same could be said on the side of the bottom lane where Vanix and Van just take a look. Yes, you can gun Van down, but he's going to heal everything all the way back up.
The level difference is going to make a very big difference. As such, Aether is currently at level 8 as opposed to Hades at level 6. In the meantime, unfortunately, the Traction Pulse is not going to land. Powerful with the 2-man knockup coming in for the Tectonic Charge. Curtisi not in a really good spot. In the meantime, Vanix as well. As such, Aether will pick up the first kill for himself. And that also will come down to Hades being the second death of the team.
You can see that Team Flash literally put everybody right down at the turtle pit right there because they know they have to play from a deficit, Abstract. Team Evil, on the other hand, identified all of that as well and also did the exact same, pulling everybody around the turtle pit, ensuring they have a good lead, and with that, they've secured a 2K goalie in the favor of Team Evil for now.
This sounds like a problem for the side of Team Flash, but one thing that we gotta have to remember is Evil is a composition that can play very well into the early stages, with the fact that they don't exactly have a very strong marksman as an insurance to the late stages of the game. Yes, Kimi is the marksman that we are talking about, but if you want to compare the power curve between a Kimi versus a Granger and a Yushin Shin, let's not forget about that. This is a very front-to-back heavy composition from Flash that can rip the front lines to shreds.
Yep, definitely, with the help of the Lunox as well, right? Like, there's a lot of damage potential for the side of Flash SG, but they know they haven't unlocked it yet. Losing 2 members earlier just now as they attempt for a fight, that means that they really need to slow down the tempo even more. If you notice, both of these 2 side lanes with the side of Flash SG is a little bit neutralized.
As now the purple buff, it still went over to the hands of Hades, so he's still gonna be fine as much as Evil wants to choke them up a little bit more. But here we go, a little bit of Immobilize onto Bear and Jay. But with the Revitalize, they will stay safe for now.
Purple buff still secured by the side of Hades though.
Vanek doesn't seem like he has a lot of HP to work with. As such, he will not be able to be involved in this fight. The main thing is Evil managed to knock down half HP of the T1 mid.
That's basically HP bars that you really cannot regenerate all the way back. Team Evil found a way to basically limit Hades right there by a sneaky hard invade at the get-go. It really slowed down the pacing of Team Flash, and Team Evil is laughing at it.
Hades is still not there at all.
Not at all.
And there is no way that they're going to try to contest for this. If anything, Team Flash, they will lose in the early to the mid stages of the game, with the fact that they have lost every single neutral objective, and even some of these standing objectives. Team Flash will have no other way but to play possum within of their own lanes, anything behind of their T2, until the point where they might see any semblance of power from the side of Hades or Curtisi.
J main damage will result some of these ultimates for now. Vanix trying to gun Van down, but Van is healing everything all the way back up, and that's so frustrating for Vanix right there. He has to back off, has to watch the bottom lane turret get taken down slowly but surely. Flash SG is losing a lot of these real estate, and Team Evil is just literally just hard invading from the get-go.
As Team Flash now having to hide within of their own base, or rather in their own jungle. They understand that as long as they have the T1 turret, they still have got some ways to play around with their purple and blue buff. But that is, of course, with Evil, they're trying to be as aggressive as they can. With Aether literally just knocking onto Jay, there's really nothing much that they could do. The moment that Team Flash tries to retaliate, there could be very unforgiving circumstances for Team Flash.
Yeah, Team Evil identified the AOG is already gone by the side of Jay. That's why they're really daring to step forward, opening up using the Traction Pulse, pushing Team Flash all the way back, clearing and dissecting Flash SG bit by bit. Team Evil just burning all of Team Flash first tier turrets already.
The thing is, for Team Flash, they understand that there will be consequences if they were to literally jump the gun, especially if they are not ready. They would much rather minimize their losses and try to give some of the standing objectives and perhaps even the map over to Evil.
Yep, not a lot of items for the side of Team Flash. If you notice, Vanix had to skip boots just a little bit in order to purchase the Sky Pierce and hoping that works. But if you take a look at Team Evo, they're more than ready to duke it out, right? They've got quite a few Crane's Wings for themselves. They're going to be a slightly more tankier, especially their HP bars going down as Team Evo, man, just going for the Lord, gunning it down immediately. No way for the side of Flash SG to step there. They're out of ideas, Abstract.
This is literally a game of items. As long as Team Flash have got some decent semblance of power from the side of Curtizi, they can defend the Lord. Remember, when it comes down to the power of the darkening, power of the chaos darkening from the side of Lunox, she can melt the Lord down with no problems at all. While in the meantime, Yi Sun-Shin, Granger, they all can try their very best to clear out some of these creep waves as well. This First Lord possibly might not do too much to the T2 in the middle lane. They might lose top lane and bottom lane T2 though.
Yeah, Flash SG, this is a very dive-heavy composition, right? You really need to go all the way in, but it seems like Team Evo is more than ready to accept it because of Van on the Ruby right there. Just gonna crack that open almost immediately. Aether even just going in, trying to make a play out of here.
Not really interested in all of that, but in the meantime, Hades gonna be the first one to go down alongside with Bear. Wait, 4 men already down for the count in that instantaneous snap of a finger. Evil have got a little bit too much in their boots. They have too much power as Flash literally evaporated right as Evil touched them. Leaving Vanix all alone.
There's going to be a speed run, Abstract.
They are definitely going to try to speed run this as much as possible. As such, Vanix is going to lose himself. The creep waves marches down the middle. Evil, just like that, took game 1.
That is perhaps one of the fastest games that we've seen so far.